someone that is not as unpredictable, but certainly just as quality as Kevin Abstract is our guy Anderson Paak. Dropped Ventura this past weekend, follow up to Oxnard, which came out at the end of 2018. Was on, I believe, both of our top albums of the year. Just a really solid album. Yeah, and I think the thing that about Oxnard that stood out so much is, I mean, Anderson .Paak is known for having the basically like really flowing into this funk, old school type, G funk, not even psychedelia really, but just kind of like that like jazz infused rock vibe, and he flows through that so well. But Oxnard was a little bit more rappy. It was a little bit more. He's bringing bars. He's bringing guests on. They're going back and forth. He's still playful on it, still the same Paak, but just kind of that sound became a little bit more rap influenced. Ventura almost seems like too much of a correction from that. If that was the critique of the album, Ventura to me feels like he just wanted to get right back to Malibu, but with I think less to say, which it makes it just a little bit disappointing. Which, I mean, I'm kind of like hating on this right now. I thought this album was still really good, and I enjoyed most of the songs on here. But for an Anderson .Paak work, I felt like it just fell a little short.
Yeah, it's funny because as you mentioned, Oxnard, a little more hip hop indebted. Hip hop features Kendrick, Snoop.
Good word.
Heard the album already, but polarizing with his hardcore fans, and obviously he's been well known on the internet for some time. Dr. Dre really put him on the map, and then the Grammys have recognized him recently, and everyone knows about Cheeky Andy now, and for good reason. He's awesome. But I really liked Oxnard because I thought it was, a little different than what he's been doing, and still good. That song like Savior's Road, I think it's just a straight banger. That's just a deep cut on Oxnard. Most people don't even talk about that song. But here on Ventura, you're right. He just goes back to Malibu. And I think most of these songs are really soulful, really smooth. I like a lot of these tracks. The problem is I would just listen to Malibu over this. That's my thing. Because there's not like deep, engaging lyrics that I want to like get back to. And again, Oxnard maybe was a little lyrically up and down. It's definitely vulgar on that one. But here Ventura, like, because it almost comes across as a quick course correction. Maybe it was a little undercooked in the writing department. I think that's my conclusion. But because it's so similar to Malibu without reaching the highs of Malibu, I'll just go back to Malibu because that's an album I love. You know what I mean? And that's not Anderson's fault per se. That doesn't make Ventura bad. But that's just the world it exists in,
And I think that's just more of a testament to Paak's past work. I mean, Malibu is a classic. That's an album that if you are into current hip hop in any way, you really need to listen to, because there's just so much on there to dig through and enjoy. And I think actually a word that you used that is something I really love about Anderson, but also I think hurt him on this project is smooth, because I almost feel like this was too smooth. And where Malibu really shone was when he was able to take these smooth songs, but really make them pop with things that you wouldn't expect, or things that just made the songs feel more lively. And I think this album is more like you're gonna put the top down in your convertible and like ride down Ventura Boulevard, and just kind of like vibe out to this, rather than put this on at a club and dance to it. And I think both types of albums are great in their own way, but I would just prefer something like Malibu because it's just more fun overall. There were a lot of guests on this. You had Andre 3000, Smokey Robinson, Brandy, which I was like, damn, Brandy on the track. Nate Dogg, obviously on the closing one. Which guest verses stood out to you?
I thought the Andre verse was solid, like a lot of his recent guest features. Really competently made, but ultimately I don't think stands out all that much. I really like Smokey Robinson. I believe Make It Better was the second single after King James. I think that track is one of my favorites. Song right after that, Reaching Too Much with Lala Hathaway, I thought was awesome. And I really like the Brandy feature as well on Jet Black. And again, like, he's really good at having features that complement his songs. And this has been the case through all of his records. And they always fit the vibe, fit what he's going for on that track. And again, these are inspired choices. Brandy, no one's really using Brandy right now, so you have to really want that, right? Andre, of course, you have to have the clout to even get him to do it for you. Smokey Robin, like these are great, and Nate Dogg, R.I.P. You know, it's like these are great inspired choices, and also not the flashiest ones. You could get more high profile features even in this. Like you could have got SZA on here if you wanted to, but you didn't. You know, so I think well chosen. Again, like I don't find any of the songs offensive. It's just as you I think put really well. It's just sometimes it just kind of smoothly blends, and sometimes that can be detriment.
Yeah, it's actually funny. The first time I listened to this, I had my Spotify just on shuffle, which I didn't recognize. And I was just kind of listening through, and I was like, oh, this album kind of flows really well. And I looked down and saw it was on shuffle, and I was like, huh. It's actually, I think, a testament to the work that these songs can still flow together and feel so cohesive, even if they're jumbled around. My favorite song was definitely What Can We Do, featuring Nate Dogg. I just really thought the beginning of that captured me. You know, it kind of has that, like, Tomorrow Never Knows type sound at the beginning of it, and then goes into this very just like smooth, like, I don't know, just a very vibey song. There's no other way I can really put it. I just was like finishing up my run on the treadmill, was just like, man, this song is fucking great. And this is what Anderson does well. I mean, I'm probably going to listen to What Can We Do like 10 times in the next like 3 days, just because these songs get stuck in my head. And he's such a great artist that he can have a down album like this, and it still could be one of the best like 15, 20 albums of the year.
Exactly. I had one question for you. So he's dropped 4 solo albums: Venice, Malibu, Oxnard, and now Ventura. If you didn't know, those are all locales, towns, cities in the greater LA County. Right? What area of, LA should he name his next album after? I'm trying to think. Like, everything's more or less one syllable, so we can probably throw out Hollywood, Inglewood, Long Beach, Manhattan. What about Laguna? That's not quite LA, but I'm just trying to think. Like Irvine. There's a lot of options. I'm just curious what he picks. Burbank, I don't know. Does he ever go to Burbank, make some movies?
I would like to see him do Manhattan Beach. I think these are all after beaches, right? That's like
they're all on the coast, yeah.
I'd like to see him do Manhattan and make it like a real New York album. Maybe bring in some of these Beast Coast people as some features. I think he could do a really good job with that. And it'd be kind of a double play on meaning, but whatever he does, he's going to do well. So. How would you rank the albums, just kind of putting you on the spot?
I have Malibu clear and away number 1. I mean, I still download my music. I know I'm a fossil, but I only download the songs I actually like, so I don't download full albums. But I have like 8 or 9 Malibu tracks downloaded, which speaks a lot because usually I don't keep that many songs off the project. Second, I have Oxnard, then Venice, then Ventura, I think.
Yeah, I think I would probably have it Malibu, Oxnard, Venice, then Ventura. But all really, really solid albums. So definitely check that out. And again, go to our Spotify playlist where we have 2 songs from him on there. Nowstalgia Best of 2019.